Okay, you ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Lovely.
It's always better the second time round, isn't it?
That's why I do it twice.
2 times, always right,
Yeah.
twice.
Okay, hi everyone, welcome back to LocoSkates. And apologies for the weird back streets of Amsterdam style lighting. We lost the light today and we've got more people than we have lights. So we're kind of sitting half in the dark. Hope it doesn't look, yeah, it looks all right. Okay, so today we're talking about the Rollerblade SK Blank skate, and we received a pair yesterday, early. They're coming out around Christmas time in Europe. They were released in the States yesterday, but they don't make it to Europe for another month. So we're still waiting on them, but we're lucky enough to have been sent a pair, and I think we'll just kind of take them apart, go for a deep dive, look at all the parts, answer some of your questions, and yeah.
Go from there.
Harry's here, and Gaston's here this time.
Not a new member of staff, but a new member of the video
of Loco YouTube.
the video club.
It's a debut. Okay, so where should we start with this? Shall we talk about they're £300.
Yep.
And I think the first thing to mention is, and I didn't realise this till yesterday, and I'm probably slow off the mark here, but they're a rollerblade solo shell that's been like where the gaps in the shell. Can I have a set? Sorry, this is
Yeah, sure.
It's a rollerblade solo shell, and the gaps in the shell have been filled in to make this kind of solid boot skate. But if you look really carefully, then you see, yes, the same kind of curvature and the little lace bits as the original solo skate. So in answer to any questions about sizing, this should fit identically to the solo. And we tried it on yesterday. I don't remember the solo. Do you remember the solo?
I never skated it.
I do a lot.
Oh, because you skated it. You really skated it.
Yeah. And it was nice and light and great fitting because it's just its own shell. And yeah, I would say that this new blank skate is a really, really close comparison, but better.
Did it feel like the same size as the solo?
I mean, we'll put a disclaimer out here now and say we were trying to skate the size 8 and none of us are size 8. So they felt a little bit big, but yeah, in that, you know, sometimes an 8 doesn't feel big on me, but these did feel big, so the 7 is going to be a true size 7 for me.
Right. Harry, how does it work with the sizing with these? There's like a half size weird thing going on?
So it was a sort of contentious subject in the office, wasn't it? The half-sizing thing.
I stormed out.
Yeah, me and Gaston had a fight.
Livid.
So on the box, it states UK 8 and 8.5.
8 to 8.5.
8/8.5, exactly. And in the box, they have these footboard sizer. So presumably, out of the box, it fits like an 8.5, and with the footboard sizer, it fits like an 8.
Is this a term that you've come up with?
No, it
Footboard?
says footboard sizer
Insole.
on it. That's an insole. Yeah, that's a bit of foam.
Okay.
Hard bit of foam.
Right. Put that in. It's an 8.
Put that in,
Take it out.
it's
It's
an
an 8.5.
If anyone's wondering the measurements, that's 27 to 27.5 centimetres.
Right.
Not that means much, but...
Cool. So it's unique shell sizing for each whole UK size, but in between you get an insole in the box that, you know, makes it half size. When I put them on yesterday, my initial thought was that they fit small because it's an 8 to an 8.5, and I would usually skate a 7 to a 7.5. And for me, when I put that on, my instant thought was it fits perfectly in length, and I was a bit worried because I was thinking we were going to have to email everyone and tell them that they've pre-ordered the wrong size. But actually, when we started skating it, I think my foot moved back into it, and it's really wide, I thought, for me personally. It's actually a rarity to find a wide skate these days. Like, people often email and say, what's the widest skate? And we always say Razor's Genesis. I think a Fifth Element now fits the bill.
Yeah.
But for me, that was wide skate as well. So I guess it's the same as Solo.
It's quite, if you take the lining out, you can see that the blank liner's really padded around the ankle area, but then it moves into a kind of much thinner area down at the end with your foot, which is kind of like a really good idea. Thick around the ankle, thin around the bottom of your foot. It makes sense, you know.
Yeah, and how does that compare to the original Rollerblade Blank liner? You probably know that.
It's fairly similar. I mean, most of the time when I was skating the Solo, I was just using other liners, so it was more just using the shell. But yeah, I mean, it's fairly similar. I still feel like the original blank liner was maybe a bit thicker in certain places.
I reckon it was soft, yeah, because I remember comparing that to a Solomon Brandon Campbell liner at the time, and like putting them side by side and like feeling them. That feels a bit thinner, but not in a bad way. Obviously, times have changed. And it was really comfortable to me. I found the skate comfortable.
Me too. Yeah.
And Harry's like a size 6 point.
So the skate was 2 sizes too big for me, essentially. But so that's interestingly, I didn't think it was massive though. Is what my thoughts were.
I mean, that's like an indication that the skate is fairly lightweight, which is good. Like, even in the size bigger, it felt quite light, didn't it?
I could tell I was getting a lot of heel lift inside the skate, but the skates weren't like massively hard to control. So that's a good indication in my size. They'd probably be quite responsive.
And also the look down for me, even though it was an 8 to 8.5, when I looked down on them, and because it felt quite wide as well, but when I looked down on them, it looked okay, even though actually it turns out they're probably half a size or a size too big for me.
Yeah, they look fine.
I think I'll show the camera have you got the sole kit?
Got a sole kit.
Like completely see-through sole kit. I did this. We talked about this on the unreleased podcast. I did this about 10 years ago on a set of Solomons, and I think it was a Razor SL sole. I cut the middle completely out and I put the frame right through it, and the frame never touched the sole kit, it just only touched the bottom of the boot. But it makes all the sense in the world for that frame to just touch the bottom of the boot and not the sole kit. Why not just put the sole kit around it like that? I think that's cool. And that's the shape of the sole kit as well. Somebody asked on Instagram about the sole getting like narrower at the back. And I sometimes wonder about that, because the Dem skates used to have that as well.
I mean, if you hold it up, it does look like it does slightly get...
Yeah, that's what I mean. It gets thinner as it goes back. It's not by much, but why do you think there's a reason behind that?
Keep the skate slimline.
Just a slimline, just an aesthetic thing.
Possibly. I've never really struggled with that, so I'm probably not the best person to ask.
I think I've struggled more with sole plates that are too big at the back.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, the sole kit is pretty big, actually, on this.
yeah, it's definitely bigger than like an M12 or a sole kit that are currently available.
I'm going to geek out and just measure it, because someone's going to ask, aren't they? It's the size 8 to 8.5, and the size of the sole at the front is about 43 millimeters. And then, yeah, at the back, obviously, it's tapered, so it goes from about 40 millimeters to about 34 millimeters. Just for you, like, ultra geeks out there. And we, do you want to show everyone the shock absorber?
Oh yeah, so the shock absorber is really cool actually. It's like reminiscent of an old Solomon shock absorber. So they have this nice like Velcro patch that it attaches to in the bottom of the skate, and then the bottom of the skate has been moulded specifically to fit it and lock it into place. So I wondered if it would give the skate more of a heel lift, but actually the way that the boot's moulded probably does give like a slight heel lift, but not much, yeah, really nice. I did, my other thought when I had them on, the feel of the bottom of the skate reminded me of Aeon's a bit, where the frame is attached directly to the bottom of the boot. You can really feel the wheels right there. So that was really cool. And the shock absorber does its job. Didn't really notice particularly anything. Definitely had trouble with M12s in particular in the past, of jumping off stuff and really feeling the shock. So yeah, having that shock absorber there without really noticing it was yeah, nice. It's a nice touch. Even the shock absorber has Solo printed on it, actually.
Yeah,
So
and
both-
actually I think I remember the Solo shock absorber was like that, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
the bottom of the shell says Solo shell, and then the shock absorber says Solo on it. Don't know if you can see
Cool.
that. So there you go.
By the way, I don't think this is a secret. I think Tom Heiser or someone mentioned that it was based on the Solo shell. There's no,
Yeah.
we're not revealing anything. I was just saying that I hadn't really been, I don't think I'd paid enough attention, and I just hadn't realised that it was based on a Solo shell. But it obviously looks better because they fit in the holes. They did the same thing on the Rollerblade Twister, the old Twister, and then they brought out the Twister Edge.
Just
The
filling the
freestyle
holes.
skate, just filling the holes. Like, obviously someone at Rollerblade is sat there going like, do you want to just
These
fill
holes
out
don't
those
look very
holes?
good. Yeah. The other thing we should mention is the wheels. They're not black, firstly, they're white. And all the promotional pictures from Rollerblade had black wheels, but it seems as if they're coming with white wheels. They're the same wheels, they're just the opposite colourway.
And they're Rollerblade hydrogen wheels.
They're
and,
great wheels, yeah.
Yeah. I think Henders was saying about the boot being £300 and the wheels, how much the wheels were worth. Because
Probably like 70 quid or something like that, right?
yeah, maybe even like these days, like
Maybe 80 quid, yeah.
Um,
As an aftermarket.
yeah. Yeah, so really good. Same factory basically is producing like high-end undercover wheels.
And matter.
And matter, if indeed it's still the same. I mean, I guess I don't see why they would have changed.
No.
But yeah, it's actually an actual skate that comes with good aftermarket wheels from stock, and not a lot of skates do that. And a flat setup as well.
Well, it comes with a flat setup, but then you do get anti-rockers in the box as well.
Oh really?
So like that's a cool touch. For 300, you get the choice out of both.
I did not know that. Are they just plastic
They're
kind
just
of
little
style?
grind rocks, but it's cool down to buy some as well.
That's cool.
Yeah, it seems
Like anti-rockers are quite hard to get hold of at the moment, so. Not a
So there you go. If you skate anti-rocker, you can sell a set of hydrogen wheels and make yourself 40 quid or something.
Yeah. But I mean, I would say I like braved a few Royale-based tricks straight out of the box, and the blank frame's really cool.
Oh,
I mean, there's a good little bit of space between the middle wheels. I didn't find myself sticking up at all. Bit apprehensive on the first couple of goes, but after that, it's kind of like, yeah, I felt quite.
I waxed the rail like just before you skated it there.
Thanks. yeah, I would actually probably skate that frame as well. If I did skate that skate, then yeah, I would do that.
There's a little cult following, isn't there, for the blank frame?
I think it's really underrated. Really similar to the Rosess standard frame. It's just like it does everything that you need it to do. It's great for flat, great for anti, solid, fast. This one's got one-sided axles as well, so you only need one Allen key. So it's a little triangle shape that locks into the frame.
Also, it's like a statement frame.
Yeah.
It's for like people who want to go like, yeah, I don't need a fancy thing. I just need a basic frame. I don't need. all
Well,
the
that's
bells
kind
and
of the whole
whistles.
vibe of this skate, isn't it? It's just like, this is just a good functioning skate, right? With good quality components.
Yeah, and I know this. So the skate's been released at a similar time to a lot of other issues of other skates. So the them 909 Pat Ridder skate, similar in its simplicity. The Rosis Grant Hazelton has just come out, and the Anthony Potier FR skate, which is coming out in the new year. Mesmer skate. They're all like very basic, simple, hard boot skates. I thought that this, from the images, this might help people. From the images, I thought that they would be more like slender, like a Rosis or something. That's how they looked to me in the images. And this is before I realised it was a Solo shell reworked. But they're more, in my mind, they're more of a kind of Razors SL-esque size and bulk, rather than a slender.
I think the
M12.
look down is, in my opinion, is better than an SL because you don't have the 3 different sliders you attach. So like it's a sleeker look. But yeah, I see with the shell, it's like certainly
The width
quite round.
and yeah, quite high. I think that's the thing you don't often talk about as well. It's quite high off your foot as well, whereas the Roses is very low on your foot.
Same thing with the shift from Razors, is it's quite low, like pushing on the top of your foot a bit, you know.
Yeah. So so yeah, in my mind, I would actually compare those to a Razor SL quite closely actually, because the obvious thing about the frame going through the sole kit as well, which is kind of semi happening on the SL skate. Yeah.
I think like in terms of like flex and stuff, and like on the cuff, I found it quite similar to a Razor's cuff myself. Yeah.
I'd say it's good.
Wasn't super crazy stiff. So yeah, I like. I mean, everyone's different, but I quite like that.
How did you think they skated, Harry?
It's really hard. I'm trying to see what value I could give to someone else who is like looking to buy them. Like they're just work. For me, they just worked as I would expect them to work as a skate. Solid, like high quality. I had no trouble doing any grinds, or there was nothing about the skate that made it hard for me to try and skate even in a bigger size. It's probably the best thing that I can
Just
say,
briefly,
say about it.
For me, like the biggest thing was that the sole kit was like super wide, and like for me that was just a nice luxury to have. Just like this massive wide sole kit thing, especially on the rail that we were skating, where it's quite a fat rail. So yeah, definitely for me, if I was being lazy, which I am, I would want that wide sole kit.
And it's also, we've only tested it on a P rail.
Yeah,
so like,
that's
we don't
true.
really know how they perform on a ledge or
That's true.
at the skate park on an angle, something more angled. Groove tricks, I was a bit scared to like bone into.
They were stood up on the
rail
groove tricks,
straight
weren't
away,
they?
yeah.
And Gas was cool with it.
You were fine. You were just right on that.
Felt really safe and like locked on straight out of the box. Little bit standing up a little bit on them, but
But they were brand new out the box, and for me, like when I get a skate like that, I just hit a curb instantly and just get, I take the Royale groove down like a centimetre or more. I just absolutely annihilate it. And I didn't want to do that with these because, let's give them away on this video.
We've
got to think of something before the end of the video of how to give them away. I'm going to try a intuition liner in it, if you don't mind. Intuition liner. Notice this is the obvious thing to try. It's a medium-sized liner. Seems perfect for that skate. And yeah, it feels super nice. It gives me a bit more room at the end. And if I was going to skate an intuition liner, then I certainly could skate the 7 to 7.5 in this now, all of a sudden. Like, whereas before I was like, maybe I'd get away with it. With the intuition liner, for sure, I could go to the smaller size.
And to clarify, you are usually a 7.5.
I'm
right?
usually a 7.5. That's an 8 to 8.5 boot. Medium intuition.
them skates are the small shell.
Small shell them skates. Yeah. And they fit perfect. Cool. Is there anything? I'm just going to check the notes, see if there's anything else that.
Any like questions?
Does it have wheel wells? Is one of them.
Yeah. It has wheels, and well, it doesn't have. So Harry, show to the camera the underside of it and put the sole kit on it, because the sole kit like makes its own like kind of wheel wells in a funny way.
It does. Where is the sole kit?
I've got it.
Right. Cheers. So that is the boot without the sole kit, and you can kind of see it does have wheel wells.
But this is the second question that we're going to come to in a minute. It's about long frames on it.
But then, it comes when the sole kit's on. Can't see. I'll try and
Look at this. Look.
So here you can see wheel well. And there's a lip there, obviously, so there might be some scenarios where the wheel well will work, to be tested.
That's the frame that comes with it, and it kind of like, you can see if it was a lower frame, the wheel might hit the end and you might have to Dremel out the ends of that sole kit. So if you were skating a long frame, like a wish frame maybe, you might find it does hit the ends and you might have to take out the end. But it'd be super easy to take out the ends with a Dremel or a file or something.
It's bolted in on both sides. There's actually no reason why you couldn't
Cut it off completely.
exactly like the old Solo used to be. So
Yeah, in my mind, I'd be paranoid about like the structural. I'd feel like, wouldn't it be better just to have it attached all the way around for like structure? Like you say, it's bolted in all places, but even better if he's all attached to, all sides are attached. Yeah.
Would you buy this skate?
Well, I'm going to get the Pat Ridder, sorry, because I'm just like, I like the colour. It's just brown, and I just like the colour.
Yeah. Would you buy the skate?
yeah, I would actually. Yeah, I'm like in the market for a new skate.
And you're Mr. Solo anyway,
So I would definitely do it, but we've sold out of the size 7, so.
Yeah.
I'm also in the market for a new skate, but I would need the 6, and I'm going to buy the Pat Ridder, so I will update you on the answer next summer.
But yeah, that's another thing to answer is about the sizes. They said they're bringing out other sizes in June or July 22.
So UK 7, UK 8 and UK 9.
Are out now?
41, 42, 43. Out for pre-order now. Out in the USA right now. Available at the end of December from us. And then that's a beta version. And then the full size release is summer 2022.
Yeah.
So if you're a size 6 and below, or a size 10 and above, very sorry.
You have to wait a really long time.
Yeah.
The other thing, they said they released only 2,000 sets.
2,000 sets.
Which by usual standards is actually quite a lot. Because I remember when them brought out the 908 to start off with, and they made 1,000. And then there was a whole big thing about like, whoa, we've sold so many on pre-order, we can make another 1,000. So the then 908 came out as a 2,000 sets, and it was 1,000 black and 1,000 white. So actually 2,000, like, it's not as limited as you might think, but it's definitely been popular. And like you say, already sold out in size 7 on pre-order and close to selling out in other sizes, if not already. I actually haven't checked. So yeah, if you do like them, then grab them quick, unless you want to wait till next summer. Let's give away this set of skates to someone.
Slightly used, only a couple of little grinds here and there.
Yeah. Size 8 to 8.5, used for a few minutes by us each. A couple of scratches on it. I tell you what, there's been classic sections over the years of rollerbladers who rollerbladers, rollerblade team members over the years. Your Farmers, your Frankies, your Boscos, Sven, Sean now. By the way, we haven't mentioned Sean. This is a Sean Keen Pro model. It's the Rollerblade SK Blank. Isn't that funny? We should, because I was thinking about this. They call it the SK because they're giving a nod to like the Chris Edwards CE skate, presumably, and so it gets called the SK, and you kind of miss out his name when like that's everything about this skate. Like Sean Keen is he's one of my favourite skaters. He's like the most progressive person out there right now, and like in terms of Instagram and footage and everything. I love Sean's skating. I should just like take a minute to like pay my respects to that.
Respect to Sean, yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Just doing bits.
And fully deserved more than anyone else I can think of for a pro skate right now. Definitely. He's like, in my mind, he's kind of like a new superstar skater, like how Bosco was in.
But also, he was like one of the last guys to carry on skating the solo himself, for a long time.
Yeah.
After it was out of production and manufacturing had stopped, he was still skating it for a long time, and actually posting clips. I'm sure there's other people skating it, but he was actually like a team member skating it.
Let's not forget Sizemore. as well.
That's ages ago.
But that's what I mean. But I just mean he's another amazing skater who skated rollerblades for years. So like Bosco Farm.
The WRS section was on the solos, right?
Yeah, that amazing section, which is this like might just ruin the comment section. But what's your favourite? What's your favourite rollerblade section of someone wearing rollerblade skates? There's been so many.
It's so obvious, though. I know the answer. It has to be the answer that I'm thinking of.
You're thinking KFC 3 Bosco.
The secret section, yeah.
But what do you guys think? Like, comment, and if you comment about your favourite section of a rollerblade skater, doesn't matter what you comment, then you're in with a chance of winning the skate, this exact skate, 8 to 8.5. Let us know, and we'll send minus just my intuition line. You can't have it. Okay, thanks for watching, everyone, and see you in the next video. Bye.